Yes. I'll tell you what, I'm going to call somebody who's behind you who raised his hand earlier. But if you don't ask Joel and Josh a question, I'm going to shoot you. Who's got a question for Joel or Josh? You do. Go ahead. Who's going to do that?
Okay, so obviously we're fans of the Avengers and what's going on with films. What can DC Comics do to keep this thing going, build on as far as Justice League? Do you have any suggestions as far as storylines?
Why don't they change all the costumes? Oh, they already did that. What do you think, John?
As far as the movies, you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Is Joss Whedon available? I don't know. They're getting really dark and really serious, and I think the perfect way someone described the difference between DC and Marvel movies is, for instance, Batman was sort of a comic book movie trying to be a real movie, and Avengers was a real movie about comic books. That was just so much easier to relate to when you get a wider audience. And so I think DC just has to kind of drop some of their pretense and figure out that we're just making comic book movies. Comic books are fun.
Yeah.
And maybe get Joss Whedon.
Go ahead. You. Yes.
What comics in your youth made you a fan?
What comics in my youth?
Yeah.
So you're not talking about my sons. What about
What
my son?
inspired you to do
What comics in your youth made you a fan?
I came up with the from like X-Men '94 type of thing, so it's a new X-Men.
Full microphone.
I came up with beginning my comic collection with X-Men '94 and the John Byrne X-Men, the early of the new X-Men. So that was kind of my getting interested in comic books.
I had a huge collection of Ren and Stimpy comics, and I didn't pick up a single X-Men comic until the X-Babies showed up. And people forget, the X-Babies were drawn by some of the best comic book artists in the business. So I may not have been influenced by Neal Adams to get into comics. It might have been Art Adams or Andy Kubert or that other guy who I forgot. I just can't remember.
All right. Everybody has their own reasons. Everybody has their own feelings about these things. I'm sure you have your feelings about it. And you never know what that opening door is, and it's always wonderful for each individual person. And of course, you hear two people talk together, and one guy says, "No, what did you think about this?" And the other goes, "No, what do you think about this?" And they're never going to agree because that's not what inspired them. How visceral was that first moment where you really went, "Oh my God, this is incredible." I mean, it's just personal, and that's to me, it's like the greatest classical story that there is. Some actor was inspired by some actor, and they were 12 years old. So I remember looking at Michelangelo and had my eyes falling out. I couldn't believe it. He made marble look like flesh. I mean, that's just stunning. Anyway. Yes? Okay, you're going to get your shot. Go ahead.
Okay.
Make it good. Make it good. Yeah.
Right, it's pretty new. I just wanted to know what it was like when you were helping the Superman creators, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, be able to get their...
It was a long, long story, and we don't have time to tell it today. It was tough. It took 4 months out of my life. My blood pressure went up in a very pleasant way, and we won. I always win. All right.
With having all the stuff you guys have going on as far as like creating your web series and doing all the character creation and stuff like that, do you still want to in your free time draw and sketch, or does it become so much of a work-related thing that you almost kind of burn out on it as a hobby?
For me, I come home, I've got a drawing board in my living room where the TV is. I can have the TV on and work, outside of the office, work in the office when I have time to do my own stuff. I guess there's not enough time in my mind to do all the things that I want to do, so it's always there, you know. If that moment is there, then I can pull out the sketchbook and work on something, and I take it, so it's always there for me.
I was gonna get an iPhone recently, and I actually ended up not getting it because I found out that the Galaxy Note allows me to draw on it whenever I want. And so there's literally no place where I can be where I can't draw. I can draw everywhere, and I always draw. Though it's recently occurred to me though that instead of drawing, I can just write, and I can do like 4 books in a month writing comic books. And I don't know why the heck we even draw these days, because writers can do like 4 or 5 books a month and get paid way more than we do.
The thing to remember is that people give us money for drawing pictures. I know what it was like when I was a teenager to work. I worked for a moving company. I was called the bottom man. You know what the bottom man is in a moving company? He's the guy that goes under the refrigerator when you're going down the stairs, and they strap 2 straps on it, and 2 guys above say, "You got it?" And the bottom man goes, "No, it's heavy." And they say, "Well, just hold it and go on down." So when I was a teenager, I did that work, and it was good work, and I did other jobs. This isn't work. This is our hobby that's become work. We love to do it. I mean, I would do it for free. Shh. I would do it for free. I do it for free. If nobody's paying me, I draw. You know, I'll watch a movie. I'll hang out with my kids, or I'll hang out with family, or whatever. That's enjoyable. But I always have joy in everything. You know, the grandkids come over and we're doing Easter egg hunts, and I've written poems the night before to find this stuff, and I had a great time doing that, but now I'm drawing. We go from one creative endeavor to another, even if it's just observing other people's stuff. And you're starting to do that now. We're not working in factories anymore. We're not doing piecework. I mean, that's what the last generation did. They spent 8 hours doing stuff that was so drudgery-oriented that you were a relief to get home and turn the TV on, or the radio on, and listen to the shadow, whatever. This generation is finding more and more creative things to put together, whether it's playing computer games. More people on the jobs are playing computer games than are doing work, because it's creative and it stimulates the mind, and it does all these things for us. That's why we read comic books. That's why we watch TV. That's why if we get a chance to write or draw, we write or draw. Who would give that up to do drudgery? I can't even imagine. We just have too much fun. It's disgusting. You know, I am truly ashamed of myself. I really am. I'm having a good time all the time. I go out onto that floor and I sign stuff. People come by and have conversations with me. We chat and they move on, and somebody else comes on, and then I get to do a sketch, and I get to see stuff that I did 30 years ago and sign it. I am having a ball. A ball. They're having a ball. It's embarrassing, you know. Somebody should shoot us and put us out of our happiness, you know. It's wonderful, wonderful thing. And why would we give it up? Well, it is a job and it's a hobby. We've managed to put them together into one. There's no other thing to do. You know, I'll be a bottom man next week. I don't think so. Next. Yes.
A lot of your...
Who are you talking to?
Oh, Neal.
Okay. Jesus, guy.
A lot of your collected works have been recolored.
Thank God.
Oh, well, that was my question. If you prefer to see it in the original form.
No, I want to see it in that 62 lines per square inch cut out by middle-aged women in Connecticut, doing it with a brush that's a ½ an inch wide. They miss all the lines and it looks like shit. I would rather that. No, for the collectors, for those guys that call up DC Comics and say, "Why doesn't it look like my old comic books? Because those are my favorite things. Those are my memories." Well, guess what? There's 3 more generations that have come up since you, old man. And I'm sorry, we're not going to turn it out for you. It looks like crap. You know what? You want to see how much crap it looks like? Go get the first collected volume of Batman. When you get halfway through, the new separations stop and the old separations begin, and it looks like total shit. No, I'm not meaning to offend middle-aged women in Connecticut doing piecework, you know, for, I don't know, $3 an hour, but that was total crap. And it was hard to turn out a decent comic book that had decent color in it. Half the time, they got redone. Oh, why does it look like the way it used to be? Well, the way it used to be, those separations are gone. It was recolored by Tatiana Wood, or this guy, or that guy, or whatever. And look at the guys that used to color comic books didn't know the difference between day and night. Jerry Serby, who, a name that lives in legend, colored Joe Kubert's comic books, and in one panel the sky would be pink, the next panel it would be orange, the next panel it would be blue. Then it would say, deep in the midnight, and it would be pink. And I go to Joe Kubert and I say, Joe, why do you let Jerry Serby color your stuff? It's crap. And he said, oh, what do you mean? It's not that bad. No, Joe, it's really, really bad. Pink, orange, green, yellow, lemon yellow. It looks like hell. He says, Neal, I'll tell you a secret. Put in a lot of blacks. Nobody